I thought of when we were just talking about what we were gonna do, and you said what season it is. It made me think of Wedding Crashers when he's like, "John, I need you to get in here. It's really important." He's like, he goes into his office all nervous. He's like, "What's up, man? It's wedding season, baby." He's like, "You sandbagging son of a bitch, you!
You all sailor."
yeah. And then all because Anthony, to start this thing, he goes, "I want to talk about like preparing for a race because it's running season." And of course, I go to, "It's wedding season, baby."
100%. Real quick, do you remember? Were you in our public speaking class?
Yeah. No, I was not.
Dude, I did the line. Remember when his girl coworker came in, and he talked about
the ass out hug.
Yes, but he talked about why he sleeps over.
Yeah.
So I did that entire
good.
thing as like our impromptu speech. I think I did not.
Oh, dude, such a good movie.
But it's
at the top.
100%. But because I made that post yesterday about 'tis the season and I posted a little AI image of a guy running, and then I got him on the bike.
And sweating, both of them.
Sweating, working hard.
We got Natty in here when we opened up the.
Yeah, I know. But dude, everyone was commenting in the races they were doing too, which is pretty cool.
Yeah.
So go check out that post on monowellness.co on Instagram.
Yeah, sign up for a race. Screw it.
We got a race tomorrow.
Yeah, we do.
I'm excited for it, but that was
Are
also.
You?
No, I'm nervous as hell. Actually, it hit me today. Every time once I start the carb load, that's kind of when it like reality hits. Like,
we got to talk about that too.
Yeah,
for me, because I might need to pack in tonight a little bit.
Well, so we will, but so this pod is gonna come out. So today is August 1st. Happy August.
Yeah.
This pod is not coming out this Monday. It's the following Monday. So we're gonna be done the race at this point.
Yeah, we are.
So we'll add a little. We'll do something like.
We're gonna add in because we're gonna obviously talk about some of the preparation and the nutrition that is leading up and has led up. I assume.
Yeah, we're gonna do all that.
So I feel like it would suck to talk about the race so much and then like nobody know what the outcome really was.
All right,
so let's add that in somehow.
Real quick, and then we'll get into it.
We are get in here. It's very important.
We are doing the Bill Gallagher Sea Isle 10 miler.
Sea Isle 10 mile.
What is your goal? Leave it all out there? Dog it out?
Yeah, leave it out there.
Do you have you have to have. What's your PR?
I never done a race.
You did,
before.
but it was slow, wasn't it? It was.
Yeah.
It was
So here's the thing.
Challenge.
Here's where I'm at, and can we talk through this for a second?
Please,
because I've been thinking about this.
Let's help Carson out.
I was on the phone with Albert last night, and I was thinking about this. If you told me 2 months ago you're gonna do the 10 miler in Sea Isle and finish in an hour and a half, I would have been like, "That's so sick! Like, this is awesome." But I think if you told me today you're gonna finish at like 1:30, like an hour 30, I'd be like, "Oh, I missed my goal."
Yeah.
Like that would kind of suck. But like the whole point, like that should excite me. It would have excited me 2 months ago.
Yeah. Then your goal is to just leave it all out there.
That's what I'm
my
saying.
favorite goal.
Like what?
Yeah.
So what? I don't.
You just want to be
I don't even know where I'm.
I
I don't even know where I'm gonna fall.
Well,
we have an idea, but I have no idea.
So this is a tough race to set a goal anyway for, because you have part of it. Most of it's on the beach, like 7 miles of it's on the beach, 3 miles off the beach. But then you have the transitions on and off the beach they do not set anything up. It's not pretty. You're literally walking on that soft, hot sand to try to transition. So trying to set a PR is really tough.
Let's put a number on it for the people.
So my goal, personally, is to stick with my brother Nick. For those that don't know, Nick is so fast. His PR marathon he just completed was a 2:48, which is about a 6:30, 6:27-ish minute per mile pace for 26 miles, dude.
That's crazy.
Absolutely insane. Qualify for Boston. So my goal is just to try to stick with Nick.
You know, it was so funny that I was watching his tracker on the Duluth, Minnesota one.
Yeah.
And me and Lauren were together, and I was watching it, and like every mile, I'm looking down. I'm like, this kid is running 26 miles at a pace that I can't run 1 mile at.
Insane. Dude.
And I'm like, it's so crazy. And she's like, okay. Like that was at like mile 3. She's like, okay. At mile 7, I'm like, this is incredible. And she's like, okay. And then at like mile 9, I'm like, can you imagine? She's like, shut up. And then by mile 11, I was like, dumbfounded. And like, just because he's like tracking off like a car, like you can just see it,
and
like
gets faster.
clicking down. Yeah,
It gets faster.
You can just see it clicking down, and he's going faster, faster, faster. And I'm like dumbfounded, and Lauren is like, shut up, dude. Jesus Christ.
Mile
like,
1, we're sitting there like we peaked while he's just 25 more and just getting faster and faster.
Unbelievable.
Which we're gonna go through some of the concepts around preparing for that. But all in all, he's fast as hell. My goal is to just try to stick with him.
I'll throw out mine. I'll throw out a number. If I can do below an 8-minute mile pace, so 80 minutes, if I can somehow creep under there, I will be happy.
I love that goal. Love that goal. And we have a plan for it.
Yeah.
Bang. So all that being said, we got the Seattle 10 tomorrow at 6 p.m. So we're going to insert a clip that will give a very quick little post-race interview.
Love
all
it.
right, so break into the clip in 3, 2, 1. Job finished.
Attaboy.
How you feeling?
It was good.
Hey, I'm proud of us because we remembered to do this.
Yeah, I know. We actually almost did it.
We almost did it.
Top 10 miler.
All right, well, quick little recaps for everyone. Personally, didn't hit the main goal, but I was literally at max heart rate for 56 minutes. Proud of that. Just dogged it out.
Yeah.
That's all I wanted to do. Got a 108 chip. How you feeling?
I'm just happy to get the first race over with, and the planning we did behind it, like I think we did it right. So I was happy with how it went.
But how confident are you for the next one though? Just now that you know your paces and stuff?
Yeah, very. I think I left some out there. I could do better.
That's it.
That's
Enjoy the rest of the pod.
See ya.
All right, we're back from the clip. How you like that?
I hope that you end up forgetting to put that clip in there, and it's just you like.
That would be hilarious. So I'm okay with it too. Because is there a chance that we forget?
Big time.
Absolutely. Now we won't do it. We'll do it. All right, so let's jump into our topic. So we're talking about prepping for a race.
Yeah.
So a race, there's so many races, whether it's a specific running race, a specific distance, a triathlon, we're talking about endurance
5K?
events. 5K, we're talking about endurance in general. So a lot of this, I'll probably kind of just use running as an example because that's the majority of what people are training for and racing for. But we are in the season of running and endurance because running season, racing season is November-ish. A lot of marathons are in November just because it's cooler weather, and you have basically the entire summer
to train
for it. So a lot of people are in the depths or on the end of training right now. So I thought it was a good timing to bring up general concepts that people should think about in terms of planning for it, like physically, mental preparation, nutrition, and then like I wrote down a bunch of common mistakes.
Good. I want to hear you go through it. As I said earlier, this will be my first race, or you saw me just complete my first race if you inserted the clip correctly.
We inserted it.
Yeah.
Well, they got your feedback already too.
Yeah. But what I'm saying is I turned to you last week, and I never done a race before. It might be something that I do regularly, not necessarily to like set world records. I don't know. We could go back to this clip and see I never did a race again, but it kept me on a training regimen cardio wise that I really enjoyed. I did runs that I would have never done before if it wasn't for me having to run these 10 miles tomorrow, and I like that. Like I ran 8 miles on a Sunday. It was last Sunday, and I was like, I would have never gone out here and done this if I knew like. You know, I didn't have to go out there and do it, but I was like, I gotta run the 10. Like I gotta do the 8. It's on my training plan. I would have had the laziest Sunday ever. So I really enjoyed that. I mean, the run sucked.
Yeah,
like the run was terrible. But
how did it feel after?
Great, because even midway through the run, I was like, dude, this is why you signed up. Like you signed up to be like healthy and try this stuff. Like this is awesome.
The race is your accountability buddy.
Yeah, that's it. It's just the thing at the milestone at the end of a training. What would you call it? Like session block. Yeah. It's a milestone at the end of the training block. I'm not necessarily trying to set the world on fire. But
That hurts.
But
We'll continue.
I've said this 3 times, 4 times in 3 sentences, enjoy the process of getting there. For this first time.
Yeah, and that's
that could change.
That nailed it though. It's a process. And you're gonna realize after this event, even when you hit your goal too, you're gonna be so proud, of course, but you're gonna be most proud of the work that you put into it. And this is the cool part, because the first section I want to go through is the training plan. But
so that's off. That's done.
I'll try to reset it once you get going on a topic. But as I go, we'll continue it.
All right. We lost the camera.
We did, and I have experience in this, and you've taught me great lessons, and I've listened to the lessons to try to ignore it. See how well I ignored it?
Yeah.
I'm burning up inside. Not because it's hot in here, because the camera just went off.
Right.
Burning up inside.
Yeah. Expensive camera.
I'm staying composed.
Yeah.
Composed. Thank you to you.
Yeah.
But
thank you to you, baby.
The biggest thing with the training plan is you enjoy the day of completing the race, hitting the PR, but it's because you enjoy the journey so much. So as you elongate that training block, you just have more and more pride that comes into it after you complete whatever it is. It's obviously harder, but that's why you have more pride in it. Mm-hmm. But going in a training plan, if you didn't have a training plan, you just had the 10 miler, like...
I would have done it. I just wouldn't feel mentally as prepared as I do, because like I know I hit the plan that was set out for me. So like mentally I feel at ease that like you put the work that you said you were going to put in. So now you just can leave it all out there. If I didn't have a plan and didn't step up to do the workouts, because then it's all willy-nilly. Like, do you want to go for a run today? And you're going more off feel. And we
know how that goes for everyone.
Yeah, and less off habits. I would get done the race and be like, I could have done more.
Yeah.
But now I had a plan. I stuck to it. I'm not going to feel like I could have done more because I just stuck to the program.
Yeah.
So you are what it is.
I wrote at the very top of this, these are my notes. I can't even see, I just looked at the camera. Main idea of prepping for a race, making it suck as least as possible. Dude, that's literally what training plan comes down to. Is making the race day suck as least as possible, because it's going to come, you're going to get there. Look, if way back when we started talking about this 10 miler, if we said it was this weekend, you could have done it. No questions asked. You could go out and do a 10 miler. You're not going to enjoy, there's no journey in that. You're not going to enjoy that at all. And also at the same time, it's going to suck.
Yeah.
Because you didn't
it's
train
still
for
gonna
it.
Suck.
Yeah. But, well, that's because you have a pace goal. If it was just a finish, it wouldn't suck as much. But when it comes to training, the more training and more work you put in prior to it, it's just going to make that day suck less and make it more enjoyable, and then also make the journey more enjoyable when you look back on it. But when it comes to a training plan, all right, so when I set up a training plan for a specific race, this is why it's very important to set a race, sign up for it, know the date, because you have to work backwards.
That's what I was going to recommend, just real quick. If you guys have never done a race before, and you don't run at all, do a 5K, do a 5 mile, a 10 mile, something light, whatever you feel like is you can get to training for, and it's something you feel like a feat you can accomplish. Just go ahead and sign up for one. And the reason I'm saying to is this is my first time doing it, and I have really enjoyed the journey. So as Anthony works to plug in this camera, and I hope we get you back, I've really enjoyed the journey of getting to where I need to be. And as I said earlier, it's gotten me to do workouts that I wouldn't have done. So just take that leap of faith. Go sign up for one in a month or 2 or 3 or a couple weeks, like whatever Anthony says, because you're going to have a better time frame on how long you need to train for certain events. But go ahead and take your best stab at it. What do you have to lose? Like you the whole thing with the 10 miler tomorrow is like, I have nothing to lose. I wasn't going to run the 10 miles last year. I wasn't going to run it a couple months ago leading up to this year. Cool. I'm still going to be Carson Delaney at the end of it. I got nothing to lose. It does not matter.
Very well said.
At the end of the day, the hour and 20 minutes or the hour and a half will be over. You will have run 10 miles, and your time, in the grand scheme of life, means absolutely nothing
No.
for me, because I'm not racing for.
Very well said. I fixed the camera. I'm sweating even more now.
Sweat dripping down your
Do
neck.
you know why the camera went off?
SIM card.
No, I just didn't plug it in. So it died. I just didn't plug. The charger was sitting right next to it. And I didn't plug it in.
Not the camera's fault this time.
I get mad at the camera.
Yeah, not the camera's fault this time.
This is on me.
Is your cardio okay?
You would think. You would think.
Yeah. You gonna be able to do this tomorrow?
So I need your notes, or can you grab my phone?
No,
too?
here.
All right, so reverse planning. So that's why you really should have a race set, and you got to reverse plan, because when it comes to training for this, depending on how long your training block is, you're not, say it's 12 weeks until your race, you're not going to go every single week as hard as you can all the way up into the race. You got to do it smart. So like you're going to work in like 4-week cycles where you go 4 weeks hard and then you do a deload week. 4 weeks hard, deload week. But in order to do that, you got to start with the race week. So then the week before that might be a taper, or it might be a peak week. And then you go 4 weeks before that, deload 4 weeks before that, right? So there's a whole reason why setting a race, signing up for it right away, one from an accountability standpoint, but then also from a training plan standpoint. So that's what I did with you. And if you kind of see the structure of the plan, I worked backwards.
You did. You backed in.
And then that way you can also take whatever mileage, whatever it is on the race day, you can take that goal and work off of that. So if you're running a marathon, 26 miles, all right, well, you know the distance. So then your training plan as you work backwards is you're going to go from maybe 20 miles as your peak run, or 22 miles as your peak run, and then go 20 to 18 to 16. Right? You're going to eventually work your way up depending on how much time you have in total.
Let me ask you a question, because you touched on it there, and they might have went past it quickly. We're doing a 10-mile race tomorrow. You did not have me run 10 miles at all in the prep leading up to it. Why?
2 reasons. So one, I actually have in our common mistakes, and I say this all the time to a lot of the athletes I work with, is don't try to PR twice. What I mean by that is PR personal record. Don't try to PR your pace and or your distance. If you're hitting a distance for the first time, you're running your first ever marathon, that's your goal, is to finish. Okay? If you're running a 10-miler, you've already done 10 miles before. That's not going to be your distance PR. So your PR now, your personal record, is time. Now that I've done a marathon before, my next marathon that I do is going to be a time-based one. I don't recommend trying to PR twice. Now, there's a chance that you do. If you do your first marathon, well, it's going to be a time PR, actually. That was stupid. It's going to be a time PR anyway. But you don't want to focus on that in training. If you're training for your first ever marathon, don't worry about pace. Right? You're going to build a level of endurance that is going to allow you to run faster. But the most important thing is that you can actually get to the distance.
So the reason I asked why is because I've felt a sense of comfort in knowing you've done the 10 miles before. Like the 10 miles is not the problem. It's you're going to get it done. Like I have gotten real comfortable with you've done it. You're all good. Like if you asked me to do 13, I'd be like, I've done 13 before just because of the challenge. So I'd be like, 13 miles is not the problem. My body can do 13 miles. I've done 13 miles. If you asked me to go do 20, I'd be like, I never done it before.
Right.
Like, but that confidence in knowing I've done it, it brought up a question in me of why you don't have. I wanted to ask you that, why it's not on the training plan, because I like the peace of mind of knowing.
Yeah, it's because, so this is very different. Again, you've done the 10 miles, so you have a pace goal. The reason why it's so reassuring to you is because hitting the 10 miles is not the concern, is not what's making you nervous about this race. It's the pace that you're going to try to do it at. That's what's making you nervous, right? So when it comes to that, and we also, when I set a marathon goal for someone who's trying to hit a marathon for the first time, they only go up to 20 or 22 as well. Because one, if your PR is the distance, why are you doing the distance before you're actually doing it, right? Like the whole point of doing it is to hit your furthest ever run.
Right.
So for that case, that's for people doing that first distance. At least for you, because number one, we didn't have enough time. Number two is because we're trying to get you to a certain pace. There's this point when you're creating a training plan where you want to push the intensity, so the pace that you're going at, and also the distance, but you got to be careful with the distance because then you don't want to overtrain. If we overtrained you, you're not going to be able to get as many miles in that week. You're not going to be able to taper correctly for the race that when it's coming up. There's just no real reason for you to hit the 10 miles when we can just focus on intensity, and that's why you had those intense 6 mile, 8 mile runs. Get your heart rate jacked up a little bit more. Get those higher heart rate zones in training. And then that way, when you reach those heart rate zones in the actual race, you're used to it more, or you've trained for it. So it's load management. That's why we can't really do it. Mainly for someone who's doing it, it's just the idea of like, I'm not gonna have someone who's training for a marathon do a marathon before.
Yeah, that's just a lot of miles.
So it's all load management and mile management. That's what it really comes down to. But I always say that when you're setting a goal, don't try to PR on both pace and distance. If you have a distance, that's your goal. All right, there's no reason to try to. I mean, yes, you can have a goal pace, but like that's not your focus. Your focus is to get there, and then vice versa. Does that answer your question?
Yeah, it does.
Cool.
I was just curious.
Yeah. So, but that goes to my second point of depending on your goal. So when it comes to building out your training plan, we talked about kind of, and I'm not going to go super in depth because we're talking about all sports. We're talking about all distances, all fitness levels, so we're keeping it very broad. But with that, so you want to reverse plan. Then you also want to have endurance specific workouts, right? Specific to what your goal is. So if your goal is a marathon for the first time ever, you want to have long runs in there as an example, right? Because you got to train getting those longer distances, and you got to progress those longer distances over time. Since we were for you doing pace and stuff like that, and we're trying to hit a pace goal, we got to do speed and interval work, right? We got to get you used to those high intervals and maybe even faster than your race pace. So we're going to mess with those. Those are what's called endurance-specific workouts. So you want to incorporate those depending on your goal as well. Cool?
Lovely.
Cool.
It's okay.
It's okay. It's okay. We're not touching it after this.
It's okay.
We're going to keep going.
Yeah.
Then a couple of other things to think about. So I mentioned the phases in training as we work backwards. So I mentioned a build phase, a deload phase, and then I mentioned taper and race week. So these, when I'm calling phases, they're phases within a whole entire training plan.
Right.
Right? A build phase is you're building your mileage, your training load up so that you can get ready for whatever that goal is. A deload is probably one of the most missed concepts that will change someone's training.
It's kind of hard. It's kind of hard.
It's very hard. Mentally, it is very hard.
And this is so much easier, like, because you've showed me before. Not that you're not picturing it well, but I can see your Excel sheet or, like, your schedule. It's way easier once you see it drawn out.
Well, if you need a training plan,
yeah.
ManoWellness.co, hit me up.
Which we didn't do the sponsor this episode.
I just did.
Yep, you did.
And newsletter.
Yep, new newsletter out.
Yeah.
New.
New news.
Yeah.
Who's that from? Oh, that's from
I don't know that one. You've got mail.
The Kelsey's podcast. Yeah. So deload. Adding in a deload week. What that quite literally means is deload, right? You're reducing your training load for a week. A deload should come in, and you gotta. This is why working with a coach. I'm not just saying this. I highly recommend, because they're going to strategically place it based off timing. And also, look, if you're doing a 12 or 20 week plan, you're probably going to have like a vacation that week or something's going to go up. That's a perfect time to implement a deload week. But you're basically taking your training load, say it's weekly mileage for a running plan, cutting it by 50 or 60%, and then you're taking basically a week off of light training so that the following week you can ramp it, and for the next 4 weeks you can ramp it like crazy. But that 1 week doesn't set you back. It moves you forward so much.
You're giving your body time to...
Absolutely. So builds, deload phase, taper phase. Taper meaning getting ready for a race week. So usually most races, unless they're super extreme, I'll taper the week of. So like this week we're tapering. Sometimes, especially for beginners, taper week the week before is recommended as well.
So 2 weeks.
Yeah, so you're basically doing a taper, which is probably like decreasing load by like 60 or 70%, and then the race week you're really kind of taking off. Definitely recommend a taper the week of or the week before. So deload and taper are very crucial to implement in. And then the last one, if you have time, especially for like a marathon plan, is a simulation. So having a weekend where you do a simulation race, not that you're doing the distance unless you've already done the distance before you can do it, but essentially you're recreating the race scene. So you're doing it at the same time, wearing similar clothes that you would. You're practicing the nutrition that you would, which we're going to jump into in the second point. You're just simulating the race environment so that you can get used to that as much as possible. So those are like the phases of this entire training block that you want to think about when you're building this out.
What are you wearing tomorrow?
You don't want to know. You're going to judge me.
No.
But I don't care.
No judgment.
Go fast.
Yeah.
I got my running tights.
Mm-hmm.
And then what are we wearing tomorrow?
Are they in?
They're right in that box right there.
No.
Right in front of us. We got new running tanks.
You don't know how excited I am for this. The white one that I have,
Yeah.
I wear that once a week.
Well, I'm going to get you one after this pod.
This is the highlight of my day.
So we're going to have these at the race. Everyone's going to
This is lovely.
Hopefully everyone will wear them. But I'll wear a tank too.
This is sick.
Hey. I'm hyped.
I'm excited.
They're fun. They're cool.
Yeah?
I didn't show you the mock?
No, nothing
Cool.
about it.
Alright, this is going to be a fun little
I've been
surprise
staring at
the
that dog, though, the whole time, and that dog makes me happy, too.
Because he's a dog.
He's a dog, but look, he's smiling.
He's smiling. That's a hound, so he's zooming.
Bro, throw a tongue out on that thing? That's
That'd be cool.
That's iconic.
That'd be cool logo.
Yeah.
They
can't even see the logo.
No, that's why, we're just teasing them.
Chalk Talk Sports.
So, those are the phases. All right, so now we already touched a little bit on the workouts. So I said the endurance-specific workouts.
Yeah.
Other workouts that are absolutely crucial for a race prep. Strength training.
Really?
Very, very important.
Upper, lower, any?
Full
Both?
body.
Full body.
Not saying full body, just making sure you're hitting all the muscle groups.
Say that again. Strength training is crucial for distance running?
For endurance race preparation. So yes, distance running. Injury prevention, it's absolutely crucial. Making sure that the ligaments outside of the sport-specific ones that are being used, the ligaments, the muscles, your joints, keeping them loose, keeping them strong, keeping them stable.
Love it.
So important. Now you can dial it back, like getting away with 1 to 2, maybe 2 to 3 per week, making sure you're hitting all major muscle groups. But especially you obviously want to hit once per week on the muscles that you're training for. So in this case, for example, the legs. But then definitely the upper body, 2 or 3. You can get more upper body working because you're obviously not using
it.
But absolutely crucial.
Not
for
looking
injury
for like
prevention.
compound lifts. Just like.
So it depends, right? You want to make sure that you're managing the training load with however much you're training, you're running or whatever sport it is, but then also whatever you can handle where that's at. But yeah, I mean, like
that's nitpicking detail. Just get in the lifts. Yeah.
Get strength training in.
You think a lot of runners do that?
And then performance is very important.
Or you think that's stuff that gets neglected?
I think elite runners now know that it's absolute necessity because they're probably working with a performance coach, so they know how important it is.
Right.
Never
thought of that.
Yeah, performance and injury prevention. Strength training is so important for that. And then the other big two.
Sleep.
Yep. So recovery. I had that in there.
Nutrition.
So freaking important. Nutrition. That's gonna be a whole second topic.
Sorry.
For workouts. I've talked to you about it through and through. That goes along the lines of recovery.
Ask the question.
That thing popped.
Electrolytes.
No.
Okay.
We're talking about workouts. That thing was falling earlier.
Yeah.
Mobility. Guys, I'm telling you right now, I know we all know it, but stretching and mobility is the most important thing that is going to get you to the race line, to toe the line. Because if you try to skip this, number one, you're doing progressive overload, which means you're increasing your training load over time, which means your body's going to have to handle more and more stress, physical stress on it, which means you got to treat it. You got to do stretches for your plantar fascia because then you're gonna prevent plantar fasciitis. Shin splints, right? That's the muscle on the front of your shin. If you're not stretching that out, it's called the anterior tibialis. I'll get nerdy so that people believe me. Mm-hmm. If you're not stretching that out and take care of that, you're gonna have a high chance of shin splints. Knee pain, the ligaments in your knee. If you're not strength training and you're not strengthening those ligaments and keeping them loose and mobile, you're gonna have knee pain.
I feel like you're talking to me.
No, I'm talking to every single person. I'm talking to every single person that does endurance because I'm not kidding you. I could probably say 90% plus experience one of these. Hip pain. Now I'm talking to you.
Now you're talking to me.
So mobility. All right, so those are all the important things that come into building a training plan. Then the next thing that I just want to go through that I had separately was the nutrition around it.
Have to.
So daily nutrition and then the race specific training.
This is
nutrition.
This is one as someone who didn't know too much about endurance, like, but I thought I knew a decent amount about nutrition, but not like a bunch, but didn't know a ton of endurance. This is something I would recommend talking to someone who knows what they're talking to about.
Well, because you just have the live experience of how crazy we are with it.
No, but even like how much carbs you like, how many aside from race day. I know we're talking about race day, but even in training, like how many carbs you should have based on your workout. I'm not talking to the exact number, but like, yeah, you should get your carbs up today. Like you got a big one, or you should get your electrolytes up even more. You got a big one today, or like you can slow down. Like you're all good. Just like managing the diet throughout your training.
Based on your exercise load.
Based on the load
100%.
that you're going that week, that day, that month. Like even though you might not have a big one that day, but you got a big week ahead of you, like that still plays a factor. I would just, even I knew an okay amount about nutrition, not a bunch, but even I was like picking your brain so much because I had no idea.
Have you felt a difference now that
you could feel it.
100%?
Remember I texted you one day, I said bad day of eating. Didn't sleep well, and you could feel it. Yeah, I said didn't sleep well, didn't fuel right that morning.
Yes,
it was for that 8 miles.
Yeah,
I didn't sleep well, didn't fuel well enough, could feel it immediately.
Yeah, it's but
because I did the same run a week before and felt like I could run 13 miles. I did this run and I was in hell by mile 2.
That's why I want to do this episode because you kind of realize that obviously running is hard, but it can be a lot easier.
Yeah.
So that was perfect. I love that you went into that because I separated between daily nutrition and race specific fueling. Daily nutrition, so I have quality of food and then macros, specifically carbs. Quality of food we talk about.
Carbs is huge.
Quality of food is so important, so make sure you just keep that up because the fuel that you put in, literally like a car, we already mentioned last time, it's going to have a direct effect. Carb. So you nailed it. I don't even have to go any more into it. Making sure that you're fluctuating your carb intake based off your training. If you know you're going to have a very intense day, intense in terms of a long run or like a high heart rate workout, higher carbs.
I know we're getting into detail too, but like if I know I'm behind on carbs and I have a longer, decent run coming up, correct me if I'm wrong, I would pound fruit in the afternoon, like if I knew I was going after work, just so those carbs were available. It would.
You are getting the details because fruit. You're absolutely correct because fruit is a simple carb.
I know.
So then it's gonna have a direct impact.
Yeah.
You want to be careful with the more like complex carbs. I also call them like dinner carbs or meal carbs.
Like the rices and the rice can go, but the burrito and stuff.
Yeah, right. They're gonna take longer to digest. They're gonna sit there more. But yeah, absolutely. So that'll get more into. We'll talk about the race specific on stuff like that. But carbs are the heavy hitter for daily, right? So make sure you're hitting your daily carb amount because when you're in a training block like that and you're running or working out a lot, your daily carbs are so important because they're prepping you for whatever training you have that day, but then they're also replenishing you for the training that you did that day, but then they're also prepping you for the training the next day.
It's like we talked about with the protein.
It's constant, dude. With constant.
Last episode where if you just always have it circulating in your body, you're good.
100%.
You can get nitty gritty on when to pound it, but
so that's a perfect segue into the race specific fueling because outside of that, like of that kind of perfect rotation of refill, use, store, all that. Then the race specific fueling, this is where we're talking about race specific, yes, but more workout specific. So pre-workout, pre-training session, pre-race, intra, which means in between, and then post is important, but more important in training. But one of the most missing pieces in a training block for any kind of race, specifically a marathon, is actually training your nutrition. We train physically. Training your nutrition this is why I'm not letting you have anything during the run.
Right.
Because you don't really need it. I mean, I would recommend it if we could, but you haven't been training with it.
Right.
So there's a huge risk there. If we try to just throw something in, this is one of the mistakes. One of the mistakes is adding something on race day that they've never practiced before. That's not a habit,
yeah.
And that's why I would not risk... I would sacrifice some of the carbs to not risk your gut just absolutely blowing up.
What'd you say this morning when I was talking to you about it on our trot?
What did I say?
We were talking about fueling during the race, and I was like, I haven't trained. You were like, I'm not going to let you eat anything. And I was like during the run. And I was like, I was thinking about that last week. I haven't trained with it, so like I'm not ready for it. You're like, you shit your pants.
yeah, 100%. That's a better way of putting it. Straightforward. Yeah, you heard all the marathon stories of people shitting their pants. That's why.
Be mile 6 with your dripping leg.
Carson's doing just clenching them and just. Actually, you know where you'll be? You'll be shitting in the ocean.
Yeah.
That's where you'll be.
Yeah.
So don't try anything new on race day. That's like one of the mistakes that we got that covered. But that's because you got to train with it.
I know.
So especially for me, dude, in my training right now, my main focus is obviously the physical workouts, but it's making sure I hit what I'm going to be doing on race day during these workouts.
We talked about that during your simulation.
Yeah, dude. Yeah. So like even though I might not necessarily need that many carbs or that many electrolytes for the training that I'm doing, I'm going to get them in anyway just because it's going to help anyway. It's going to start my replenishing process early. But then also, I'm gut training. Yeah. That's what I'm doing. I'm making sure that my gut is used to absorbing, digesting, and utilizing those carbs that are coming in while I'm at zone 3, zone 4 heart rate, like an intense session.
Right.
So gut training is important. And then the timing, right? Pre, during, and post. So much out there. This could be an episode on alone, and we've actually touched on it a little bit, so I'm not going to go into specific numbers and stuff like that. But it comes down to carbs and electrolytes, hydration in general. So those are the big things with nutrition. Your daily nutrition and your race-specific fueling.
I feel like I am going to, and most people probably neglect the post.
Yes, 100%. But post is absolutely important, but it's not like you're going to be hungry, so you're going to have a meal after. If you want to get specific with the post, like everyone's going to have something post-workout just because majority of people enjoy food. And then also they're going to be hungry because they worked out. Just make sure it's right? The quality of food. And then, again, what we said before with daily nutrition is, okay, if you had a very intense run or long run, higher carbs. Right. Simple as that. Protein can be the same. Fats can be fluctuated based off calorie expenditure and everything like that. That gets in the nitty gritty. But yeah, post is just based off that effort. And you're going to feel it. If you felt like you dogged it out, add a little extra serving of carbs.
Yeah. Won't hurt you. Oh, I'm going to have plenty of carbs.
Yeah.
I might treat myself to some seafood. I may.
You should.
I may.
Common mistakes. Real quick. We mentioned a couple of them. So not practicing fueling or under fueling is a big one. Don't PR twice. PR, personal record, in either your distance. If you hit the distance before, then hit a pace PR. Not giving yourself enough time for a training plan is another big mistake. This is because, for a few things. One, just enjoying the race more, enjoying the process, like we said in the beginning. But then also because in order to incorporate those deload weeks, they take an entire week.
Yeah, right.
So the more that you're training, the more deload weeks that you can put in, the more efforts that you can put in, the easier it gets. This is how, say you're training for a marathon, the more weeks we have to build you up to that peak 20 or 22 miler, the easier it's going to be for you.
And we're talking about
skip numbers and jump.
And we're talking about, we keep referring to running because that's what we're doing.
It's just the most common.
Right. But I just want you to double down that this is, the running preparation translates to all other sports.
saying this as a triathlete.
Yeah.
I'm training for a triathlon. This is all the same.
Yeah. The framework is the same.
Now, the only difference with a triathlon is for the most part, you're doing more workouts because there's more sports.
Yeah.
So, very simply, you just increase all of this.
But the
framework is the same.
Cool.
Exactly the same. If I showed my training plan, this would align with everything. The nutrition's on there. The different phases are on there. All the blocks, like literally everything. And then biggest mistake, skipping strength and mobility. Such a massive mistake. And then the last one that I know we talked about is, so we talked about not incorporating tapers or deload weeks. The other main one is trying to train without a structure, and that's what you nailed in the beginning.
Yeah.
It's just, I don't even know how it's possible.
I'm nervous.
So I mentioned the cars right before we started recording too, with this 10 miler tomorrow, which they already got the feedback on. This is one of the weirdest feelings. When you're about to hit, you know you're about to just go into one of the hardest efforts that you've ever put in.
There will be some darkness out there.
Bro, but the mindset, it is so weird. It's so weird. Because, and also, this is very hard because it's a 6 p.m. race, so we have to sit on it all day. This is why it's weird, because if it was tomorrow morning, like,
we'd wake up and go.
We would be, it would be ready and go. But, dude, even to this day, where I've done so many races, I am still so nervous. But now, like, it's like nervous but excitement at the same time. Not excitement to go and do it. I'll tell you that. That's where I'm nervous.
Yeah.
My excitement is, it's another opportunity where I know I'm going to be proud. Because the fact that, yes, my goal is to try to stick with my brother, but I don't have a specific pace. I know what his pace goal is. I don't have a specific pace. I said this to you in the beginning. You asked me what my goal is yes, to stick with him, but it's just to know that I left it all out there.
Yeah.
If I don't stick with him, but I try to hang on as close as I could, one, I'm going to get a great pace anyway. But it's just the idea that I'm going to leave it all out there, which means I am going to be so damn proud.
We know when the dog miles are coming.
Bro, we are going to have such a good weekend when this is done, for the simple fact that we earned
100%.
the freedom and fun after.
I'm nervous. We're going to be fine.
We're going to be great.
But you know when your dog miles are. So as long as you get through your dog miles.
It's all right in
we
front
talked
of you.
about it this morning.
It's all right in front of you. You just got to do it.
We got some game plans.
Just like the training plans. Dude, I made a LinkedIn post about this. I said, success really just come down to two things. One, creating a plan. And two, doing the plan.
Executing it.
That's it. We just talked about how to create a plan.
Now you just got to execute it.
Now we just got to do it, dude.
Yeah.
You did the training plan. Now we just got to...
Put up or shut up.
We just got to see what happens.
Yeah.
So, I hope that helped. In all seriousness, though, like, I do have a bunch of free plans and templates that I'm happy to send anyone. I do recommend getting very specific plans and programs that are specific to the race date and that whole thing that we went through. But if you want one as an idea to see, like, the blocks, the build, the deload, the peak, let me know. I'm happy to show you. We have endurance coaches, we have strength coaches. We can get you set up and ready to go.
Yeah, love it, because I'm always the guy, like, I'm cheap. I would always be the guy to, like, I'm not paying someone. Like, I'm the one going to run it. I'm not going to tell, like, I don't need to pay somebody. After going through this, like, it's a world of difference. You don't have to pay for someone or even go seek out the help, but I can tell you once you do, it is a world of difference in having a plan set out for you.
I'll add to that because that's very important. Even from me, coming from someone who I've gone through the science, I study it day in and day out, I experience it, I train people in it. For my triathlon training plan, I bought a training plan from another expert who's done it before, just so that I can kind of see how they did it,
right.
The outline, the progression, get new ideas from it.
It's real.
Because there's not going to be a coach that you go to or a training plan that you do that's going to be the same. They all get to the same goal, but every coach has a different philosophy, different way of going about it. Even for me, even if you buy a one-off plan just to give yourself an idea, it's better than nothing. But I mean, the best way to do it is to get a coach who's working with you one-on-one, changing your plan week to week based off maybe injuries or fatigue or vacations or something like that.
And they can hold you accountable.
Dude, it just makes it so much easier.
The accountability is big. For
And
some
more
people
fun
too.
and accountability. Yeah, 100%. So that's all I got.
Let's get it tomorrow.
Let's have a week.
Yes, sir.
And peace.
Have a week.